You know what's ludicrous? Ludicrous AF even. Back in 2015, some lunatic posed a question, and that question shook the world, the entire globe. It was whether Pokemon, such as this Pokemon you see here, Charizard, one of every of those Pokemon, could beat 1 billion lions. Billion with a B. I want to emphasize billion with a B because people don't seem to understand that a billion is 1,000 millions, which in itself is 1,000 thousands. A lot of people thought that the Pokemon would win. So many people, in fact, that if you scroll through the entirety of YouTube, you will find very, very few videos which support lions and very, very many videos which support Pokemon. And, there may be a good reason for that. Pokemon can fly. You got Dialga, can stop time. You got Arceus, basically a god. You got a lot of different Pokemon. And it makes a lot of sense that a lot of these people would support Pokemon. Some people have done in-depth dives of game mechanics. I did in-depth dives as well. But who knows who wins? So we're going to find that out. But just so we can know at the start, one in every 20 videos here is supporting lions, and 19 of every 20 is supporting Pokemon, which is nutty, which is crazy, which is gnarly as fuck. And I've resolved the question over my last 6 days of aggressive stalling. I've found a lot, and a lot is going to be shared with you today. If you're in the chat, I'm really rooting for you because this will be a bit to get through. I made a big slideshow, and I'm just gonna run through this. Over the last few years since this question has been posed, Pokemon have reigned supreme, it looks like. And in 2022, this question is starting to fade away. Dog shit, dude. Dog shit. Pokemon will not win this at all. I'm telling you now. If you think that Pokemon win, just click off the video maybe. Because I'm going to break this down bit by bit and tell you that every single little intricate detail which will add up into the complete destruction of the Pokemon argument. Plato. Do you think he was rooting for dumb Pokemon? No, he was rooting for lions. Logic is on Plato's side, so logic is on our side, and the logic is on the lion side. Look, there's Plato again. Look, there's logic. You think they're gonna love the aggressive, cool, sexy lion? Let me walk you through. It. Oh yeah, a brief disclaimer before we start. The radical left, the radical right, the centrist, the leftists, the leftists, the columnists, the journalists, the podiatrists, and the bastards among you may get quote unquote triggered. Again, this is just, I don't want to offend anyone. First, before we start anywhere, we have to start with information. What information is there in the universe, in the world entirety? What information is there to formulate our argument over who will win? Firstly, you think you're going to root for dumb Pikachu? There are 4 different types of information on dumb Pikachu, on dumb Pokemon, that will give us our final conclusion. We will systematically make our way through this. We will systematically make our way through each of these 4 different topics to get our final conclusion. We have information 1, the Pokedex. Information 2, the Pokemon trading card game. Information 3, the Pokemon video game. And information 4, the Pokemon anime. We have a 5th information, which is real life, and we'll get to that in a bit. Firstly, the Pokedex. Now, the Pokedex makes some wild claims. Let's be real. Macargo, he's dropping in 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit in that shell. That is 1.75, give or take, the temperature of the sun. Macargo can destroy the Earth. Gardevoir can make black holes. Any black hole which is larger than 1 times 10 to the negative 10th inches will destroy the world. A black hole smaller than that, however, will evaporate due to Hawkins radiation. The They did not specify, the creators of Pokemon in the Pokedex, how big that black hole was. But no matter, no matter. Jirachi can grant any wish. Maybe you would wish for the Pokemon to win. Yveltal can suck all life force from everything. Victini always wins. Dialga controls time. Palkia controls space. Arceus is a god. If this, like, it looks like Pokemon are in the lead. But Lantern. Now this is where it gets interesting. I told you I've been scalding over the past few days. I've been scalding hard and deep. And what I found is that Lantern has the key to it all. In Pokemon Gold and in Pokemon Sword, they show in the Pokedex that the light that Lantern emits is so bright that it can illuminate the sea's surface from a depth of over 3 miles. The Japanese version of the card gets a little more precise if you see this flavor text down in the bottom. I put that into Google Translate, and it says that it is bright enough to illuminate the surface of the sea at a depth of 5,000 meters. Lantern. Lantern, lantern, lantern. All right, so here we are. Water is dampening light exponentially, which this is the intensity of the light, which we're going to give a value of 5 milliwatts. Keep in mind that your ordinary light bulb is 60 watts. We're going to start with our 5 milliwatts, right? 5 milliwatts times E, which is a constant, to the negative D, which is depth, which is going to be negative 5,000 meters, as shown by the Lantern Japanese card, times A, which is going to be like the light dampening value of water, which is 0.05. When we put this in, our X, which is I0, which is our intensity that Lantern has given out, is this number right here, which is around 10 to the 105th power in the order of magnitude. For a little bit of reference, the total mass energy of the universe is 10 to the 69th joules of power. Our power output in 10 to the 105th is watts, which is joules per second. So every single second, Lantern is releasing 10 times to the 35th order of magnitude of the universe energies per second. Lantern, by existing, is destroying the entirety of the universe and turning it into a supermassive black hole, a universe-sized black hole. Tyranitar says in its flavor text in Pokemon Sword that its body cannot be harmed by any sort of attack. Oh, that might be a little hitch in our plans. Lantern will kill the lions, but not Tyranitar. I want to reiterate, it's not an attack. The definition of attack is an aggressive and violent action against a person or place. The definition of violent is using or involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone else or something. Lantern, by existing, does not have enough time to plan, to intend. Lantern, by existing, demolishes the fabric of the universe, and it cannot intend, therefore it is not violent, therefore it is not an attack. So therefore Tyranitar dies. So, we move on to the trading card game. I want to reiterate, a billion with a capital B is a big number. A billion is a big number. So, we'll have to modify. There are a billion lions that will not fit in a normal 60-card deck of the Pokemon trading card game. There are 923 Pokemon that will also not fit in a 60-card trading card game deck. So, we're going to have to take out all energy, all trainer cards. Just assume that everyone can do any attack at any time. Sure. The Pokemon card with the most HP is Eternatus VMAX with 340 HP. We're going to give every single Pokemon 340 HP. We'll also give every single Pokemon infinite attack, and they'll just one-hit kill all the lions. We'll also allow them to kill every single Pokemon or lion on the opponent's bench at any given time. So every single attack the Pokemon do is going to do infinite damage to 6 lions. 6 lions. But there's a billion lions. These lions, we're going to give 1 HP. We're going to give 1 attack, just for reference. I want to reiterate how big a billion is. It's a lot. Pokemon, the trading card game, is printed on 35-point cardstock. A point is 1/1000th of an inch. 1/1000th of an inch. 35 thousandths of an inch is the size of a Pokemon card. 35. If we multiply this by the 923 Pokemon, our stack size is going to be around 32 inches. This is around like a meter stick in length. On the other hand, our lions are going to be 100 times the size of Mount Everest. Our stack of 1 billion lion Pokemon cards is 552 miles, extending into the upper atmosphere. You cannot breathe at the top of this stack of lion Pokemon cards. But we'll run it in the game. We'll see what happens. You think Smoochum is going to do anything against the Mount Everest size stack of lions? No. But let's do the math. Let's do the math. Let's do the math. 923 Pokemon times the maximum HP of any card in the game is 313,820 total HP. Every turn, they will kill 6 lions. Remember, all of our lions have 1 HP, 1 attack, and all of our bench dies. So we get 923, which is our number of Pokemon, times our HP, times our 1 damage per turn lions can do, times 6, which is the number of lions that are being killed, and we get the amount of turns it will take and the amount of lions that will be killed. And that comes out to 1,882,920 turns for all of the Pokemon to die from all of the 1 HP lions. And to reiterate how big a billion is, the Pokemon have killed 1 of every 531 lions. It's nothing. It's nothing at all. The lions reign victorious on this particular instance. So we'll switch over to the anime. We're at 3 of our 5. Let's see what happens. This is my favorite clip from the Pokemon anime. This is when Brock uses a frying pan as a drying pan. It's hilarious. It's a really good one. All right, but just a reminder, the anime does not equal Pokemon, the video game. So we can only do one of these. There's a lot of inconsistencies between the Pokemon anime and the Pokemon Nintendo games or Game Boy games. So we'll only be able to use one for the other to exist. Let's just be real though. The games are so much better. The games are so much better, and this is the equivalent of the Pokemon anime. It's some god's darn wasteland where Pokemon and Pokemon trainers alike have to prostitute themselves out in order to survive. Let's be real. It's a shit show out there. Pikachu, stupid, dumb, awful Pikachu it has won a single battle in the Pokemon franchise, which is insane. We're talking about Pikachu, stupid, dumb, idiotic, just demented, awful Pikachu. And this same stupid, dumb, hated, despised by his parents Pikachu has beaten the likes of cool, sexy Metagross, Milotic, Regice. I call it Regice because the others are pronounced Regirock and Registeel, so Regice should be Regice. But what do I know? Dragonite has been defeated by Pikachu. Stupid, dumb Pikachu. Latios. Oh my god, dude. 2 legendaries have been defeated by Pikachu, which makes no sense at all. In addition, we actually just cannot use the anime because not all Pokemon have actually appeared in the anime and fought in the anime. So we won't get a complete data set. Porygon 2, Porygon Z. These were because of that one episode of Pokemon that caused 700 seizures and had to be taken down. So Porygons were never really put back in the episode. Porygon 2, Porygon Z. Mascarian has never battled in the anime. Calyrex, Glacier, Whismur, none of these. And then this one that I don't really know. It starts with an SH, but it has not battled in the anime. I've been looking through the episodes. None of these have battled in the anime. We cannot use the anime physically just because we don't have enough data. It's also absurd. The anime is completely absurd. Like some Pokemon have just absurd move sets. Some Pokemon have absurd mood sets, and some of them just have nothing as their move set. They have like one move that is ever shown. There is not enough data, or there's way too much data, and the data is always inconsistent. It's just insane. Like Pokemon are never shown learning moves at all. Pidgey, a wild Pidgey, a group of wild Pidgey in the Pokemon anime know the move Peck. That is impossible unless they've learned this. And none of them have had a trainer, none of them have been taught to learn this. It's just like it automatically disproves the idea of the anime being based in Pokemon reality. And why is that? Because Pokemon Red and Blue came out in 1996. This beautiful anime came out in 1997, according to Google. This means that Pokemon Red and Blue, for the journalists out there, for the columnists out there, is a primary material, a primary source material. The the anime is a secondary source material. So it's basically the equivalent of a heavily funded Pokemon fan fiction. We cannot use it. So we're left with the video game. Video game Pokemon versus all these lions. For the arena of fighting, we're going to do somewhere completely neutral to make sure that this is a neutral battle. I chose Final Destination from Super Smash Brothers because it seemed flat, it seemed good, and we're going to give both of them food. A lot of people might be angry at this because they think that the lions will start before the Pokemon, but like if we're the lions are carnivorous and they're just going to eat the other lions. There's a billion of them. This is going to last months to years, even if lions don't have any food at all and have to eat each other. The Pokemon, on the other hand, also have to have food, according to the anime. We're not using the anime, so they technically don't have to have food. But if they're running away for years, it's not a fucking battle, dude. It's not a battle at all. So we're just gonna give both of them food. If that's all good with you guys, I think it's good. I think it's a good play. I'm gonna go with it. One thing to note is that this plane, this final destination, is going to extend to infinity in all directions, so that no one's falling off or anything. We don't want an oddish just like falling off, ruining the actual intricacy of what we've planned. All the Pokemon in addition are going to be wild because when you have a Pokemon trainer, it's really subjective, like how strong a Pokemon will be, and we want to be completely objective in our analysis. When a trainer is choosing the moves the Pokemon is making, it's not a clear indication of the strength of the Pokemon. So we have no trainers in this. Again, this will also take place everything everywhere all at once. So all the Lions will battle all the Pokemon immediately based on how many Pokemon there are and how many can actually be like in a battle at a given time. So this is just like a little visualizer of like the amount of Lions we have and the amount of Pokemon we have. But this is completely false. It's actually more like this, where this is the amount of lions we have, and this is the amount of Pokemon we have. But this is also a lie because I didn't render this because it would be stupid. I don't even have enough pixels for that. I didn't render this. But this right here, this massive blue box, multiply that by 1,000, and then you have the sort of relation of lions to Pokemon. Remember, a billion is a big number, dude. It's 1,000 millions. This is around 1 million times as big as this. It's not even that. Like, let's be real. I'm not gonna fucking render that at all, dude. We're gonna start off with spread attacks. Now, this is something that has been pretty widely discussed. Wolfie VGC actually came out with a video on this. I've watched so much fucking content about this Lions versus Pokemon. I've clipped comments. I've watched so much content. But he came out with a video. Him and Kyogre just fucking demolished the entire Earth with a bunch of water using surf. And this really just cannot be used in any meaningful sense. Because he in his video disregarded the Pokedex as well, because I also disregard the Pokedex. It makes sense to disregard the Pokedex, but then he just does a fucking like worldwide surf, and like that should have been a clear indication, you know, like it's wrong. It's wrong. I just have to say it, it's wrong. It's wrong. It didn't really use like correct logic at all. It's wrong. It's wrong. It used the logical fallacies. It used logical fallacies, and I'm going to show that. So we have our horde battles, which is the mechanic that he used. Notice how each of these particular horde battles have 5 opponents. as opposed to the infinite opponents shown by Wolfie VGC in his video. Notice how there's not 4, there's not 3. There are not 2 opponents in any of these horde battles where one Pokemon goes against 5 other Pokemon. All right. If we look at a normal distribution, even if 5 is the absolute maximum on the normal distribution, there is still an insane percent chance that we will encounter 4s, 3s, or 2s. If this is sort of like a randomized thing, or it's actually like the number of Pokemon you're encountering in the wild. We're not running into any 5s, 3s, or 2s. So why would we run into any 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, up to 1,000? This indicates that the horde battle is capped consistently at only 5 Pokemon. No more, no less. This is kind of basic, and I'm really just disappointed in the amount of people who just completely disregard this. And why did this happen? This is called an echo chamber. This is where I won't insult the Pokemon lovers, but this is where people who were supporting Pikachu, stupid, dumb, idiotic, stupid Pikachu are residing. You see these little walls. These are their ideas. This is the ideas in their head. No, if you take an idea and you start at the center and you work its way out, it's going to bounce back and collide in other ideas, creating a sort of chamber where only certain ideas exist, even though all of these other ideas outside are much larger, much better. These are the cool, sexy, Chad, Pog, Lion ideas outside. For this battle, we're going to give each of our Pokemon infinite attack because they'll need it. Each of our Lions will have 1 attack. Each Pokemon, at maximum, according to the game, will have a PP of 160. These are power points, and this is how many times a Pokemon can use an attack before they can no longer use any attacks at all except for the move Struggle. We're giving them 160 because the maximum for each particular attack is 40. All spread moves. We're giving every single one of the Pokemon a spread move. We're assuming every move that every Pokemon has is a spread move and will one-hit kill every single Lion. We're also going to discuss regeneration of PP because some people think that power points can be regenerated in this battle by the means of like different items. Cresselia's move, Lunar Dance, Ether, PP Up, Lepa Berries. Pokemon don't start with items. This is just like this. Like I don't know what they're thinking at this point. The question is one of each Pokemon, and I want to reiterate this: one of each Pokemon versus a billion Lions. Not one of each Pokemon with garbage and crap that any person in particular wants. If you add leftovers, the Pokemon itself doesn't have the ability to regenerate health. It is not a real representation of the Pokemon strength, and it is subjective. For the same reason that we disregard trainers, we disregard items. If a Pokemon in particular can generate an item, sure, that is a true measure, a true indicator of Pokemon strength. But they are not starting with items. This is logical AF. However, some would then turn to the pickup ability, where some Pokemon, outside of battle, after winning any battle, a Pokemon in the player's party that has pickup has a 10% chance of creating a held item for itself. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is what we're going to be using for this, in all the others as well, it's the same sort of situation. Elixir can be gotten by battling level 1 to 10 Pokemon up to level 50 Pokemon. After a battle, you'll get a 10% chance of your Pokemon picking up an elixir, and that elixir could then be used to restore PP. But Pokemon are not animals, are not cats, are not felines, are not lions. Pokemon are not lions, and lions are not Pokemon. This is a hasty generalization because we're assuming, if we're using the pickup ability, that our lions are certain level Pokemon. This is wrong. This is a logical fallacy, stereotyping, an unrepresentative sample. This is actually a faulty generalization, which is an informal fallacy known in mathematics and is also called jumping to conclusions. This is what we don't like. This is how we become racist. So the lions are lions, and thus they have no level and no type. They are level 0. They are level nothing. They are level question mark. Actually, in Pokemon, there was a type in generations 2 and 4 and 5 or something along those lines. It capped at generation 5, I'm pretty sure, where there was this QQQ type for any Pokemon where you didn't actually know the type, and it has no multiplying attack, no multiplying defense. It has no type at all and no level at all. And that makes sense because it is an object. I'm making the statement here that animals are equivalent to objects in terms of composition in the Pokemon universe. If you have a Pokemon with a magnet, if you have a Pokemon and you have a house cat, that house cat does not have a level, just as a violin or a microphone does not have a level in the Pokemon universe, because animals are not Pokemon and Pokemon are not animals. And because of this, 0 is not on the leveling scheme, and Ether cannot be generated, so PP cannot be restored using the move Pickup. There is no way to gain Lepa Berries. So, someone who still wanted to generate PP again would move to the move Lunar Dance, which restores the HP and PP of a single Pokemon, and this is only actually known by the Pokemon Cresselia. But that's okay because of the move Snatch. Snatch will steal the first susceptible move that is used by any other Pokemon the same turn, and it'll activate. And this basically would allow other Pokemon to use the same move, which is Lunar Dance. Generation 8 came out with Snatch cannot be selected in a battle. If we're going Generation 8, which I think we would have to based on like using all Pokemon, we would already have to be at that generation, but it's fine. Um, there's only 150 Pokemon, give or take, that can learn this, plus Cresselia herself. Here's this meme that I wanted to show because it's the truth. It's the truth. It was shown as like the punchline of a meme as like, oh, lion lovers, dumb, stupid. But this is not the truth. Bart, Pog, Chad, funny, Lisa, dumb, pointy, garbage. We're going to do some math. 923, which is the total number of Pokemon, plus an extra 150 PPs, plus an extra 1 PP, because Lunar Dance kills the user, and only 151 Lunar Dances can be used. And we multiply this by the amount of PP per Pokemon or per Lunar Dance that is regained. There is only 171,840 PP total in the game. That is the amount of attacks that a Pokemon can produce. And each Pokemon, we're saying, can kill 5 Pokemon at once, but then you jump in with Ditto. Oh, Ditto can just clone a billion lions. Ditto can become the enemy. Ditto can become a billion lions. False. False. I looked it up. In double and triple battles, do you get to choose who to transform to? No, it takes the form of the Pokemon it's directly across from. I mean, there are no Pokemon, but we're just going to assume that it's directly across from a single lion. Like, well, even if it's 2 lions, like, he's done. After these 171,840 moves are exhausted, Pokemon will have to result to the move Struggle, which has a power of 50 and deals 50% of that damage, or 25% of that damage, back to the user. Back to the user. So the Pokemon will then be damaging themselves. The Pog-Chad Lions will be safe. This is how many lions remain after every single attack the Pokemon can physically use if we're going by video game logic. 999 million lions remain. It's not even close. This is the lions before the Pokemon attacked. Now, this is the lions after the Pokemon have attacked. Do you see a difference? I do not, dude. No way. But maybe you're thinking, real life. Here, the Pokemon aren't governed by their in-game logic. And the lions aren't governed by their in-game logic if the Pokemon are brought to Earth. So, it would be a free-for-all. We'd have like Pokemon flying on other Pokemon's backs. It's an exercise in imagination. And I didn't really know how to answer this at first. So what are we going to do? We're going to throw them all in Hunger Games. That's what we're doing. Final battle, Pokemon v Lions. I put them in Hunger Games. I put all the Pokemon in Hunger Games. I put all the Lions in Hunger Games. And we're going to have Hunger Games with the Lions and the Pokemon. First, we got the Reaping. District 1, Arceus and Ultra Beast. All of the Ultra Beasts, all Arceus very strong. District 2, Lantern, destroys the universe. Gardevoir makes back holes. District 3, Lopunny and Vaporeon. Well, District 4, Shedinja and Macargo. Both really, really good. Shedinja is a ghost type Pokemon and can't be hit by normal type Pokemon. Thank God the lions are lions, and Macargo is the temperature of the sun. District 5, all the other legendaries, all the other Pokemon, because who even cares? Like, really. District 6, Pikachu, useless. And Pikachu's parents hate him because they do. They really do. We hate Pikachu. Pikachu is garbage. Pikachu is dumb. Pikachu has not done anything productive. Pikachu keeps getting all these wins that he doesn't deserve. Pikachu bad. Pikachu bad. District 7, we have the Poachers and we have Twitch chat because I feel like you guys should be able to participate. The Poachers are going to go for both Pokemon and lines, I would presume. And Twitch chat is just going to be there for experience. District 8 is going to be a cluster of lions and a larger cluster of lions. District 9 is a fuckboy lion. I got this from the Warriors with a Z website, which is really funny because it's the Warriors books, but furry form. And a small lion who's really adorable and I like him. District 10 is a round lion who will roll. And District 10 also has You Must Be Lion. District 11 is all the other lions and a lion with a Glock. A lion with a Glock. A lion with a Glock you will not be able to stop. District 12, lion with your mom. Let's be real. And lion plane. You thought the lions couldn't pilot a plane? How were they going to take out Garatina without a plane? They're able to now. So these are all of our contestants. Macargo's smiling away. Lion with a Glock is ready for action. The bloodbath. This is where we begin. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Roundline runs into a cornucopia and hides. Pikachu's parents hate him, runs away from the cornucopia, and Vaporeon also runs away from the cornucopia. Macargo gets a pair of sais. A size, right? Macargo snatches a pair of sais. Small Lion grabs a shovel. Pikachu snatches a bottle of alcohol and a rag. Useless. Fuckboy Lion takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia, while Twitch chat cannot handle Twitch chat cannot handle the circumstances and commits suicide. Lion with your mom takes a handful of throwing knives, while Gardevoir takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. They are both armed. Arceus, all the other Pokemon, Lopunny, You Must Be Lion, and Lantern all just run away. They don't want any of that heat, any of that smoke. Immediately, You Must Be Lion finds Shedinja. Shedinja begs for You Must Be Lion to kill her, but he refuses, keeping Shedinja alive. All the other legendaries band together to make a single wooden spear. That's around how useful they've been so far. That's around how useful they'll be now. Round Lion runs away from Lion with a Glock. A smart decision. Small Lion begs for a big cluster of lions to kill her. But the big cluster of lions refuses, keeping Small Lion alive. Lopunny, Gardevoir, Lion with your mom, Ultra Beast, and Lion Plane hunt for other tributes. They're looking strong. You would not want to run into them. Pikachu's parents hate him, injures himself. Yes. Is it out of character? No. Pikachu, useless. Is it out of character? No. One cannon shot can be heard in the distance for Twitch chat that evening. Night 1. Lantern quietly hums. Gardevoir screams for help. Vaporeon starts a fire, which is counterintuitive. Small Lion receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Thank God I love Small Lion with all of my heart. Arceus unknowingly eats toxic berries. He was the god of all Pokemon, but now he cannot withstand the poison he has just eaten. He's not omnipotent. Round Lion tries to sing herself to sleep. Macargo, You Must Be Lion. Fuckboy Lion. Lion with a Glock and a big cluster of lions sleep in shifts. Macargo just snuck in there and he's smiling away. Round Lion tries to sing herself to sleep. Lion with your mom tries to treat his infection. Probably from Lion with your mom. She not that clean. Poachers climbs a tree to rest, while Lopunny bleeds out due to untreated injuries, which may or may not be unrelated to the poachers. Day 2 dawns. Macargo tries to spearfish with a trident, while poachers set Lion with your mom on fire with a Molotov. Shedinja is unable to convince Lion with a Glock not to kill her. I guess Glocks aren't normal type. All the other lions sets an explosive off, killing Fuckboy Lion. I mean, we didn't really want him in there anyways. Vaporeon severely injures every other legendary and puts them out of their misery. Pikachu dies trying to escape the arena. Lion Plane questions his sanity, and a big cluster of lions tries to sleep throughout the entire day because, in general, a lot of lions do sleep. They are cats. Cats can sleep up to 16 hours a day. All the other Pokemon defeat Vaporeon to avenge all of the other legendaries, but throw her in the water to make sure she dies. Poachers survive the tsunami. Lion with the Glock is swept away, and a big cluster of lions fatally injures herself on debris. Round lions, ultra beasts, all the other lions, they all survive. Lantern, however, holds Gardevoir underwater to drown. You must be Lion. Fatally injures himself on debris and laughs it off. Pikachu's parents hate him, defeats Lion plane, but throws him in the water to make sure he dies. A cluster of lions survives, and Small Lion defeats Macargo, killing this 18,000 degree slug and throws it in the water to make sure it dies. 14 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. To run it back, we have Ultra Beasts, who are alive, Lantern, who is alive, all the other Pokemon, who are all alive. Pikachu's parents hate him, is still alive. Poacher's alive. Cluster of lions. Small lion, round lion, and all the other lions. This is 1 for poachers, 4 for Pokemon, and 4 for lions. It's around even. It's going to be a crazy battle. A cluster of lions immediately kills poachers with a sickle. Lantern cries herself to sleep. Round lion and Pikachu's parents hate him, tell stories about themselves to each other. There's a reason Pikachu's parents hate him, and it's because he can't kill. Ultra Beast fends all the other Pokemon, Small Lion, and all the other lions away from her fire. They are strong. The feast dawns. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Pikachu's parents hate him. All the other lions and Ultra Beasts confront each other, but grab what they want slowly to avoid conflict. Round Lion falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Small Lion repeatedly stabs a cluster of lions to death with saves. Repeatedly. Pikachu's parents hate him, questions his sanity on day 3 of this event. 3 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Poachers, round lion, and a cluster of lions. Ultra Beasts are alive, Lantern is alive, all the other Pokemon are alive, Pikachu's parents hate him is alive, Small Lion and all the other lions are also alive, so it is 4-2 in the Pokemon's favor. All the other Pokemon, all the other lions, and Small Lions cheerfully sing songs together on night 3, which is a little bit odd, but we'll let it slide. Lantern loses sight of where she is, which is ironic. Pikachu's parents hate him and Ultra Beasts hold hands. Another reason why Pikachu's parents hate him. He shouldn't be holding hands. He should be relentlessly murdering other lions. Proceed. Small Lion is pricked by thorns while picking berries on day 4. Pikachu's parents hate him, defeats all the other lions in a fight, but spares her life. Lantern discovers a cave. All the other Pokemon discover a cave. And Ultra Beasts all band together to make a wooden spear. No cannon shots can be heard in the distance that night. And as we get deeper into the night, Lantern starts a fire, and all the other lions tries to sing herself to sleep. Things have calmed down in the arena. Until all the other Pokemon force Pikachu to kill Small Lion or Ultra Beast, and he decides to kill Ultra Beast, leaving Small Lion alive. This is why Pikachu's parents hate him, dude. And all the other lions immediately follows it up by silently snapping Pikachu's parents hate him's neck. There's a reason, guys. There's a reason. Small Lion picks flowers. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance, 1 for Ultra Beast, 1 for Pikachu's parents hate him. All the other lions in Lantern that night run into each other and decide to truce for the night. And all the other Pokemon lose sight of where they are, all at once. Remember, the only other alive is Small Lion, so we are down to 4. 4 combatants, 2 lions, 2 Pokemon. Small Lion accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it. And that's the only real loss of this entire event. We're now 1 lion to 2 Pokemon. All the other lions stabs Lantern with a tree branch. 1 lion to 1 Pokemon. All the other lions, all the other Pokemon, it's coming down to the real battle. And all the other Pokemon accidentally detonates a very large landmine while trying to arm it. The winner is all the other lions from District 11. These are the stats. Pause if you'd like. And it's over. It has been completely and totally determined that lions will defeat Pokemon in the scenario of 1 billion lions to 1 of every Pokemon. And they will defeat them in every single possible manner. Lions rule!